Today we're going to be going over how to beat Incursion skill nodes while using invaders. Now, when I made this video, I had Iron Fist as a striker. I've switched him to a raider since then, but either one works. The team strength is about 1.2 million, even when I switched Iron to a raider, so let's get started. So on the first node, Nemesis is the most dangerous. I always summon first with Fury, and I will use the basic on the minions to strip the abilities. I will use the basic to try to land slow, and if I land the slow, I'll use the special to make it into a stun. From there, you're going to want to switch to Dark Beast and use Iron Fist Ultimate, which will stun Dark Beast, and will also stun Ghost Rider as the secondary target. Now from here, the node is very controlled. You just need to make sure you get rid of Nemesis before he uses his ultimate. Carlson, in any difficulty, has always died from counterattacks. I've never seen anything where he's lived with my team strength, but make sure you get rid of Nemesis. And then you want to use the ultimate here and slow everyone, rewind the turn meter. From here, I usually try to focus Dagger first. When Dagger and Cloak are on the board and they manage to get their ultimates off, it does a lot of damage, but if you can get rid of Dagger, Cloak really isn't as strong, but you could really use the minions here to your advantage. They apply slow, they do turn meter rewind, and I try to use Bucky's basic because it extends negative effects by 1. Just keep working everyone down. Make sure the stuns don't fade. I really like Union Jack's basic because it strips a lot of positive effects if you have the T4 priorities. And that's basically the end of the first node. It's very simple. Just use the minions to land stuns and slows and turn meter rewinds. And anyone that's adjacent to Captain America will start the next node with full energy if you have the T4s. But I always finish up using basics anyway. It's a good habit to be in. Try to get as much energy back as possible. All right, that's the first node. Let's go into the second. Again, that's the team placement I use. Some people, use different placement. I've had the most luck with this setup. So on this node, always use Fury summons first. Use the basic to strip the taunt. Try to land the slow with another basic. If you can, on Omega. If you can't, that's fine. Try to land the slow either way. And you always want to use Iron Fist Ultimate on Omega Red. The secondary stun will always focus Death Pool, and Omega is the most dangerous. Sometimes Agatha KOs herself from the counterattacks. Sometimes she doesn't. It's RNG dependent, and it's based on your team strength, but I like to use Bucky's basic again here, extending the stun and the slows on Omega, and sometimes it chains to Death Pool. And that's basically all you need to control this node, is make sure those guys are stunned and slowed, and you abuse the turn meter rewind mechanics. We'll use the ultimate for more turn meter rewind. Okay, that should be the end of the first wave. So when the second wave starts, I've always found that, X could do a lot of damage if she gets her ultimate off, so I try to focus her, but you also got to be careful about Bucky's ultimate and Venom's ultimate if they get off, but there's so much turn meter rewind with this team that you could easily control the node. Union Jack's ultimate also resets turn meter a little bit, so it's really easy to go into these nodes, even with a weaker team, and honestly clear it without much trouble. Simming is a little bit dangerous because the computer doesn't really take into effect trying to stun Omega, and that's probably where your run goes wrong, is if Omega gets his ultimate off. Now, the boss node is really tricky. I put out a different video on how to handle that, but in most situations with this setup, if everyone had their abilities, max energy, you could almost always sim win. And if you lose, chances are Mighty Thor got her ultimate off. So, good luck.